Sure. All right. We are here. We are live. Making sure that all right. I see the microphone is on. It's moving. It's good. Waluigi, talk.
Yo.
Okay. Waluigi's sounding good, looking good. All right. Same with me.
Thanks. You're making me blush, anyways.
Oh shush. Anyway, what is going on, everyone? Oh, let me hit the records. 1, 2, 3, and what is going on, everyone? We're back again with another episode of the South Florida Gamers Podcast, episode 112. I'm your host, Silverback Senpai, and across the table from me is my co-host, Waluigi.
Good evening, folks. Great to see y'all again. We got a fun and some spicy topics going on. Looking forward to having with y'all. Been a week and glad to be here again.
Absolutely. So last week, we just want to recap off of last week, and that is we did a live reaction of the 2024 Game Awards, and we had Butter Punch and Four Face Buttons joining us for that one, which was a really fun.
It was unhinged and I loved it.
Yeah, it was very fun, and I can't wait to do more of those and just more of those live reactions with just other gamers here in South Florida, so that way we could just talk about what we're watching, what we're viewing, and just
doing our thing.
Just have our casual banter. We also had snacks, which I also brought again because they were just waiting here at the arcade. So
it's a bit of like a podcast ASMR. You hear us munching, talking, crunching, all these typing and bullshit like that. Bars. But you know what? We have some topics to cover. We have a night to have fun, and we hope to see y'all here. Just vibing.
Absolutely, and we do want to go ahead and give our review of the Game Awards that we did a live reaction to last week, and I know as soon as the Game Awards was done, we were just like, all right, we're gonna wrap this up because I was a bit salty that my favorite game that should have won Game of the Year did not win Game of the Year, but
surprised it wasn't Stellar Blade this time.
Yeah, Stellar Blade got shafted due to Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, a DLC being in the Game of the Year category. But whatever. But hey, it went to Astrobot, but I am glad that Elden Ring didn't win anything and Balatro didn't win anything because I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Had a couple things in the last award, but you know what? That's okay. It's a roguelike that only one person made, which is still nuts to say.
Right.
I gotta give it some respect.
Have the mic closer to you.
Had to give some respect.
There you go.
For like a one-man developer. Or I think a couple-man developer for Balatro.
Yeah. And, hey, props to him, but it's just one of those games that I was just like, what is this game? I've never heard of it. Because usually, throughout all of 2024, any game that came out or that hit mainstream ears, or it was just like on mainstream gaming publishing sites or whatnot, or mainstream gaming news, you would definitely hear about it to some aspect. When it came to Balatro, I'm just like, what is this game? Like, I did not hear about this game until the Game Awards, and I was like, what the hell is this? Because typically you would hear something about it, like you would hear hear it blowing up, like Astrobot. I heard Astrobot was good this year. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, it was good this year. Black Myth Wukong, it was good this year. There was a lot of good games that came out this year that definitely was nominated, that deserved a nomination. There were also some other games that did not get nominated, and I can see the argument as to why, like RPGs like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink that did not get nominated, but it's a very underrated JRPG, which I highly recommend you play. Another one was Rise of the Ronin. Granted, it was a PlayStation exclusive, and PlayStation, they did promote it, but I think it wasn't promoted heavily enough because
it wasn't.
I think around that time, because it came out in March, you also had Dragon's Dogma 2 also dropping, and Dragon's Dogma 2 also got nominated.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, what? Why? Why did this game get nominated? Because if anything, I played both games, and I would definitely tell you that I enjoyed Rise of the Ronin a lot more than Dragon's Dogma 2.
It's a bit of a shocker.
Yeah. That one was a weird one. And then after that, you had Stellar Blade that came out. It did get a nomination for like one category, and that was it. But prior to that, you also had Helldivers 2 that
Oh
dropped,
my
which
god.
was
Yes.
that was that was a you had to be there moment because of when that game dropped. So many people were trying to jump online. That game blew up.
It blew up to a point to where it had to buy more servers
Yeah,
because the limit was 500,000.
yeah, and gamers on both PS5 and PC just completely blew that out the
Yeah.
water.
Even though it was like a few months ago, the quick hit of nostalgia, we had to wait 20 minutes just for one of us to boot in, just so we can get a group going on. But now you can just join in nonchalantly, so you can save for Super Earth. But also the fact that they put a promo on for the update same day is nuts.
Oh yeah,
I have yet to play it. I updated on Steam already, but it looks great.
yeah. And I also and I just recently played Helldivers 2 today, and I'm enjoying the update as well.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah, but then again, just like man, I'm playing so many games right now.
Yeah.
Like I would say the one thing that's taking up my time is I decided to play another gotcha game. Girls Frontline 2. I've been playing that, so here's another gotcha game that's just roping me in, and I'm enjoying it.
I still love how I called out most Hoyoverse games nonchalantly. And I'm just like, because we thought it was going to be another Genshin bullshit or some like Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah,
But no, it was DNF. And I just love the quick thing I said, like, why is everyone white? Or like super pasty?
yeah,
And it's not even an excuse that it's a medieval time game. It's just like in all seriousness. But then when they introduced Clive in Tekken 8, it was super lit. But a lot of people are questioning his ethnicity, which is even funnier now. But I'm just like loving this whole like race thing quickly. It's entertaining though. It's like that's a really good question that nobody bothers to ask in games, but nobody cares enough because the game is good.
no,
Like a lot of people are now playing Clive in Tekken 8 because it came out a couple days ago,
yep,
and they're already exploring him and the broken stuff.
oh yeah,
And Cyberpunk gave its flowers to Balatro low key. It gave Quest to find like certain cards. That's like a quick way of summing it up.
okay,
I'm like, other games are giving it its flowers by mentioning it.
right,
Then what else? I feel like I'm missing some stuff. And Elden Ring having a co-op now that looks very fluid is super funny.
yeah, and
Movements like Sekiro.
yeah, that's the thing that I was watching more YouTube videos about it. That some of the stuff that I saw in that Elden Ring trailer, and I'm just like, oh, this has some elements of Sekiro in it, like the parrying, and has the parrying, running, and then jumping on like a wall or a platform or whatnot, and
Yeah.
then reaching up high. And I'm just like, oh, this game is about to be some bullshit. Like it's gonna be difficult because if you've played Sekiro,
Movement won't mean much.
no movement and parrying is key, especially parrying. Like parrying is the meta of the game.
You get to watch your friends get their ass kicked
Yeah,
and get your ass kicked.
yeah,
This is gonna be fun. Then it shows a nameless king, which is super funny, and everyone's just like, shit.
yeah. That's just like if they're bringing Nameless King back, who else are they gonna bring back in Elden Ring? Because now that opens the door to a lot of possibilities of which bosses are we gonna see come back, and I have a feeling that this version of Elden Ring, where it's co-op and it's it's starting to look a lot fast paced, we might get some Elden Ring boss, we might get some Sekiro bosses and Bloodborne bosses, and ooh,
I don't think anyone's for a Sekiro boss, if anything.
I'm just like, man, people are not gonna be in for a good time.
Nobody is. Nobody ever is.
Oh, did your mic go out?
Did it just say, wow, testing. Testing. Awkward.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Testing. Oh, wow, there we go. Now we're back in action.
Okay.
Just a little chip whack. Whoops. Yeah, if we speak any more bad about Elden Ring, they might come for us next. Nah, we're talking good.
Okay. Now, with the Game Awards, I would say overall, my overall impressions throughout the entire thing, I would say it was okay.
I respect it.
There were definitely some surprises that I really enjoyed, and one of them being, oh, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen right now.
Ooh, big screen.
Let me full screen this bad boy, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Capcom bringing back Okami and Onimusha, and this I like.
Oh, I loved it too.
I
I definitely did.
really like this, and I was like, as y'all saw, last Thursday, like I was excited, like, oh my god, that's Okami's coming back.
We were freaking out.
Yeah, like, yeah, my inner fanboy's coming out, and I was like, oh man,
Not
yes.
like Butters freaking out, but we were just like,
Oh, yeah,
like we were in
that
shock.
that was a good one. That was a good pop off by Butters.
And then we just see like Dave disappointed.
Yeah. So with this, and this is a tweet that I saved. Capcom says they are focused on bringing back dormant IPs. In addition to regularly releasing major new titles each year, Capcom is focusing on reactivating dormant IPs that haven't had a new title launch recently. I hope this means Capcom is taking a serious look at Hold on.
Pause. Dramatic pause. Very.
Looking at Mega Man, Ace Attorney, Breath of Fire,
Ooh.
which is good. And onto the side, it says, this is exactly how it should be. Capcom and Sega figured the perfect formula. Publishers should focus on bring back dormant IPs, strengthening active IPs with consistent releases, and create new IPs. So I'm going to click on the photo, and you can see the IPs that Capcom and Sega have. So Capcom bringing back Onimusha and Okami, good. Sega bringing back Jet Set Radio, and a new Virtual Fighter. That's also really good.
Yeah, and then the Yakuza series, how it keeps consistently going.
Yeah,
And
so
they also have Studio Atlas working on Persona 3 and then the Metaphor game.
yeah, so and you look at Resident Evil 4, which of course, if you've played it on the GameCube, the PS2, and the Xbox, like Resident Evil 4 is like the most overplayed game of. Oh, I wouldn't say overplayed. I mean, yes, but it's been brought back so many times, and it's because,
remakes, remasters.
yeah, and it's an iconic classic. A lot of people love Resident Evil 4. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why Capcom doesn't want to touch Resident Evil 5, but
Nobody wants to touch Resident Evil 6 as well.
yeah, I don't think they don't want to touch Resident Evil 6. But
The fact
I'm just like,
until they can make like a pause version for that game, possibly. But
I have a feeling that Capcom is working on Resident Evil 9. Could be.
Ooh, wonder what it's going to be. More first person, probably.
Yeah, and you also have a new Monster Hunter coming out next year, which is cool, good. And then some of their new IPs are Pragmata, which we saw very little of, and
Oh yeah,
I
was very
can't
interesting.
read the name.
it looks like that.
Kumitsu Gami.
Oh,
Don't know what it is. I have to see gameplay of it. But
that,
on the Sega side, strengthening active IPs with consistent releases. You have the Yakuza series, and you also have the Persona series. This year they did Persona 3 Reload. It's a remake, so they brought that back, and I have a feeling that they're probably going to either have that as a placeholder for the next Persona game, which could be a Persona 6, or maybe they want to do a remake of another classic Persona game, like maybe Persona 2. Who knows? And then, of course, their new IPs, Project Century, which we saw a trailer of it on at the Game Awards, and then, of course,
Oh my
Metaphor, which also came out this year. So,
that Century game looks so unhinged. The fact that we just saw like a Yakuza member just nonchalantly cutting people's heads off, or just like actually having these old school beatdowns during the what was that earlier era, the Meiji era? Not even the Meiji. I think it was towards the end of it. Y'all can call me out later, but then you also see other games like other companies coming back, like Mafia.
yeah.
They're like, hey, here's a trilogy, but we got Sicily coming out, and that shit looks super cool. That was like one of those two games I saw. Like Century, I want to play that. It looks so nitty gritty, gruesome. There has to have a purpose, or it's open world. Terrifying. Or cause and consequence.
Right.
Because there was a lot of killing within that game. And I'm like, wow, they showed this out nonchalantly to the public eye. I loved it.
Yeah, so with that, I would say the MVPs of the Game Awards has to go to like Capcom and Sega, honestly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's an obvious thing. From Software, they just have another Elden Ring. That's fine.
Yeah.
They can keep that.
Yeah, but it goes to show that as the Twitter user said that this is how it should be. Like Capcom and Sega figured out the perfect formula, and that is just, hey, we're gonna bring back a classic IP that we haven't done in years. We're gonna strengthen the active IPs that we currently got with another consistent release, so that way people can play the new next version of another game. And then
Yeah.
of course we're also gonna create a new IP, so that way now you just have this flow of new games, new IPs coming out, each and every year. So that way gamers have something to look forward to. They have new games to play, and I like this formula. This formula works very well, and
I agree.
I like to see what more Capcom and Sega do, because right now they're currently winning it, and I have a feeling in the next 2 to 3 years we're gonna start seeing even more quality games coming from both of these publishers.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for some companies to step up and bring back their IPs, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
even though, like, I would say prime example, PlayStation, they have the money, they have the IPs.
they're slacking.
Yeah, they're mad slacking, or
I
they're
do
just
wanna show some
banking.
excitement.
What's that?
I do want to show some excitement for Intergalactic. I love that 80s theme space style, that last bit of hint of game, and the fact it showed like Porsche being a sponsor, Sony like actually taking.
Yeah, a lot of ad placements. In
I'm
that
like,
video.
if they're getting money from other like brands and such, that means this game has to be more serious than anticipated. Because not many can just show like, oh yeah, this is an actual Porsche model designed by Porsche itself, and this is a spacecraft. Hold it, like that is a flex that I forgot PlayStation can do. They can buy certain IP similar to what Microsoft did like a few years ago. But to get an actual car brand involved is something serious. I give it a good faith. I don't know what the game's going to be, if it's going to be third person or it's going to be first person. I feel like it's going to be an interesting third person. Wow, chip failed.
So you didn't see the dislike bar of Intergalactic
No, I didn't. Wait, there's a dislike bar?
on YouTube?
Ah, shit.
If you go to the Naughty Dog's YouTube channel, they've closed the comment section off. And if you go to the PlayStation one, the dislikes is very massive.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Oh, yeah, the dislike does not show
What, on the PlayStation?
on PlayStation.
Oh, you probably don't have that.
I don't have the extension.
Yeah, the extension. Hold on, I'll pull it up on mine.
Holy mackerel! It has to be that bad. I give it some bit of faith, even though it's been a solid week. I'm hoping it at least does good within a first release, or at least there's more trailers.
All right. Let me put screen. There it is. 92,000 likes, 233,000 dislikes. We're gonna go over the comments,
Yeah, I'm reading the comments right now. They sell hair as a separate DLC.
and of course, I put my comment there. I was like, if this game flops like Concord, game journalists and games media are going to crash out harder than the activists during Trump winning the 2016 2024 election.
Holy smokes! This
The-
game is gonna make a Concordillion dollar.
They sell hair as a separate DLC. This trailer is 2 hours ago. Ew, it's so old. We need a remaster. The most surprising thing about this trailer is that Sony left the comments on.
In order to keep the game at 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, they ditched the main character's hair. Sony, you forgot to disable the comments before the remaster. Oh my god, it looks good, but I mean, at least the trailer early on, it looked convincing.
Right.
But wow, the amount of hatred. That means they're gonna have to step up.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna have to show more of this game to, I would say, to disprove the haters and of course the dissenters. But it was kind of interesting that Naughty Dog just like, yeah, we're not gonna enable a comment section on this one.
They felt confident. They were confident after making multiple Last of Us.
Yeah. And I know a lot of gamers, they're still not happy about how The Last of Us 2 was.
Nobody is.
So it's just like
Except
they
people
so
that
it's
watch
like
Last of
they
Us.
don't have faith in this game.
That's true.
So it's just like Are y'all gonna try to swindle us like you did with the Last of Us Part Two? Because when you look at the trailers for Last of Us Part Two, you thought that okay, maybe Joel's gonna have like a very important role in this. Come to find out, spoilers, that he gets murked, he gets killed,
Yeah.
and then you end up playing the killer, and then the game tries to make you sympathize with the killer, and it's just like,
No.
yeah, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and then of course the game ended up winning Game of the Year, and people felt so robbed because what game came out in 2020? Ghost of Tsushima should have won it, but it went to The Last of Us Part Two.
Which was bribed. They had to be bribed for that shit.
Yeah, so I would say with The Last of Us Part Two, everybody got catfish because the way how they set up the trailer, it made you seem like okay, Ellie and Joel are gonna have like something really important's gonna happen. We don't know where it's going to. We don't know what's gonna happen, but something is gonna happen, and then come find out, yeah, we're gonna kill Joel, and now you have to play as the killer, and then the game tries to make you sympathize with the killer. It's just like, no, fuck this person. Because
Yeah,
the fact that people grew on to Joel in The Last of Us Part 1 back when it released on the PS3. Yes, The Last of Us Part 1 was a PS3 game.
Oh yeah, it was. And The Last of Us 2 was a PS4.
Yeah.
Then a PS5 game.
Yeah. They remastered The Last of Us Part 2, which really didn't need a remaster. It was literally a cash grab. Same thing with The Last of Us Part 1. Those were just nothing but cash grabs that they sold you for $70.
Oh, yeah. No, I retract the statement of intergalactic. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has been quiet recently.
Ubisoft is in a lot of financial trouble, and as I said,
We
like,
did talk about it a couple episodes ago.
we've already beaten that to a dead horse.
Yep.
So we're just not gonna just talk about that. We're
Beat
gonna,
it again.
Yeah, we're just gonna just
Split
continue.
Fusion did look good. That one where you're multiple like fantasies of different dreams and such. It did look good.
Mm-hmm.
The hot dog part just threw us all off though.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to talk about this one because this guy, I would say definitely catfished a lot of people.
Which one?
The Game Changers Award.
Okay, there we go. Thought it was me.
What, your mic went out again?
I thought it went out. I'm just like, then I just went closer. Never mind. We sound good. I look good. Pose.
Okay, so this is a whole thread. So this guy, the Game Awards featured a wildly insincere moment they called the Game Changers Award. There's so much wrong with this single moment that I feel the need to highlight each and every part of it separately. I tried to make it a single tweet.
That is
I tried.
funny.
It can't be done.
Nope, it's a thread. It's high key a thread unless you.
It's a thread, but it's a very interesting thread because our initial reaction when this guy came on and just talking about, there are developers that, got let go or they got fired, they got laid off from whatever game project that they were working on and whatnot. So he was like the guy that was trying to help them, get jobs, get opportunities within the games industry. Come to find out, this guy is an executive of Tencent.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Holy
Let's go through this thread, bro. This is
Wait, before we go back, how do you feel about the Fallout? I'm sorry, no, not the Fallout. Wow, brain. Borderlands 4.
Borderlands 4. Don't care for it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The guy was just kind of a. He was too full of himself.
Yeah. Like after 2, I'm just like I don't care for this game series. I don't care much for it. So, but let's go. Let's talk about this guy real quick. For context, the Game Awards has stalwartly refused to acknowledge that anything bad ever happens in the game industry, in the gaming industry, which is true. Thousands of people would be laid off, and the show would start off with, "It's been an incredible year. Gaming is the best. Let's celebrate." He started off by admitting that layoffs happened, but then wavered and quivered at the idea that he must always remain neutral. This was a very hard decision. Truly, it's impressive how hard it was to say this year has been difficult for some, especially at such a serious event. Then they paraded Amir Statvat, that is an interesting last name, up on the stage after explaining that he, believe it or not, made an Excel spreadsheet that people put their information in if they were laid off. There have been a lot of layoffs for several years, but now there was a spreadsheet.
Holy smoke!
Yeah. And I remember Fourface was here with us, and it was just like, you got laid off probably due to the fact that maybe you put out a bad game. Like if you put out a bad game and the game doesn't sell well, yeah, you're gonna get laid off. That's just how the games industry is.
Yep.
And it's like if you want to be employed or stay employed, make good games. But it seems like these people are not making games for gamers. They're making games for people who are
Gamers.
exactly. They're not gamers. They're just people that are just they live on the internet. They don't play games. They'll probably retweet, reshare, repost your clips or videos of this upcoming game that you have. Okay, fine. Sure, it's gonna get a lot of traction on the internet, but when it comes to the actual game sales to like the average gamer, like you and me, we could look at this game and be like, "Yo, this game is dog shit. This game is ass. I don't want to play this."
It just feels like the AI probably made it and just said good.
Yeah. I don't mean to downplay. All right, so I'm gonna continue on with this thread because it's a lot.
It is. It does look like a lot.
I don't mean to downplay so hard. If you're one of those people who lost their jobs, I honestly feel for you, and I know no one is going out of their way to help you. So every single bit helps. Feels like a lot, but this is literally a spreadsheet where you can self-input information. When your entire plan is ripped away from you and suddenly the future you thought you had is now an impossible fiction, it can absolutely feel like you need anything. And to be clear, there is now a whole network of other people who have rallied to provide real resources. They brought up this man on stage and said he made a spreadsheet when no one else could do anything. They paraded him in front of the people who literally fired everyone. It's a room full. It's a room of people who fired the people you say you're helping. They awarded you for it.
Holy.
And you got, of course, the guy from that's ahead of not Blizzard, Bethesda. He laid off people. You also had what's the other guy? The guy in charge of Microsoft, like Xbox.
Bill Gates? No, not Bill Gates.
Phil Spencer.
Yes.
He was there. And I'm just like,
A lot of people.
a lot of people that laid people off were
did-
in this audience.
that did the damage.
Yeah. And it's just like,
Huh. What a coincidence.
yeah, how ironic that, hey, let's acknowledge this one guy who, tried to, save people's jobs and whatnot from people that they got fired. And oh, guess what? They're also here in the crowd too.
It's like, hey, welcome. You know who I am.
Yeah.
It's just like a big fuck you to some people.
Yeah. A large chunk of the audience is people who chose to lay people off a month after Christmas. They're planning to lay hold on, they're planning to lay people they're planning to lay off people right now. They're going to do it next month. They gave you an award for providing volunteer services to their Mackensian sacrifices. They clap for you. The ultimate irony, of course, is that they positioned Amir as some guy who just felt really bad and did all this for no reason and with no expectations and never asked for anything in return. While that's true, it's not exactly honest, and there is a difference.
So sorry for the chat. I heard all the chip pouring as you're talking.
First, Amir positioned himself as some sort of expert, some sort of number one Google search result for games, jobs, resources that provides exclusive perks and funnels viewers to other people's blogs, most of whom charge for paid speaking gigs, coaching, and career optimization. TJ also positioned Amir as some guy who just felt really bad for everyone. Some fans of games who saw this tragedy and felt the need to do something to address it. And while, yeah, he's being paraded in front of the people who fired everyone, at least he's doing something. Except Amir is, surprise, a part of the same crowd. Amir finds game companies for Tencent to acquire. After coming from Amazon Games, which collectively have laid off at least 1,000 people. He's not some random guy. He's part of a $490 billion multinational super corporation.
Yep, that sounds familiar now.
And then you can look at his experience, like he's been a business development director at Tencent Games full time, still there, strategic advisor, Playside Studios, Still there. Amazon full time 4 years. Okay, all right, he's no longer working at Amazon, but you see it here, folks.
Yeah,
Like this
you see,
guy,
you see the proof in the pudding.
yeah, like this guy is not some just random guy that just went out of his way to help people. Like no, he's a part of the problem too. It's just that he's being paraded as some guy like, hey, I went out and helped people and whatnot. But I'm like, dude, you also are a part of the problem too. Like
Yeah.
you're also a part of this corporatism of just people who just lay people off if they produce a bad game and not knowing what gamers actually want. Tencent owns Riot Games and has major stakes in
Oh, wow.
Ubisoft, Epic Games, From Software, Larian Studios, Crafting, Grinding Gear, Remedy, Digital Extremes, Inflexion, Supercell, Platinum, Jaeger, Kakao, Paradox, Fat Shark, Funcom,
Really?
Shark Mob, Frontier, and even Discord,
Holy shit.
all under Tencent.
That's a lot of layers to unravel.
Tencent represents 50% of China's mobile game market and 35% of the entire gaming industry and is the most profitable game company. Yes, more than Microsoft or Sony or Apple or Google or EA or Nintendo, and beats most of those by double or triple earnings.
Jesus.
So you have an exec for gaming's top company applauded by gaming's highest execs for creating a self-input spreadsheet and leveraging other people's volunteer labor, receiving an award for helping people laid off by the people applauding the guy who works for one of the offenders.
Holy shit. There are layers on layers in this one.
And great that he's doing anything at all. Wouldn't it be nice if that room full of industry executives representing $500 billion in annual revenue did more for an award, did more than award a guy for making a spreadsheet? And it isn't. And isn't it sad that yeah, isn't it sad that the very best anyone did was to make a spreadsheet?
That is nutty.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's
And
a lot to process.
yeah, but it just goes to show that this guy right here, and I'm gonna show it again. This guy right here, that everyone just felt sorry for. That he did. He's doing something by trying to help out these game developers. I'm like, dude, you are a part of the problem. Look who you represent.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like people won't read. They will.
yeah, like people, and of course, you're in a room full of people who have laid people off.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Like, how tone deaf can you be?
And yet, all they could just do is watch and clap for the guy,
Yeah.
which is the only choice they have.
Yeah. So when we saw that for the first time, it was like kind of like,
We were confused.
yeah, we were confused
Like,
about
who
it,
is
but
this guy?
now that people did research on this guy, it was like, this guy is also a part of the corruption too.
Yeah. Man, people suck nowadays. Well, they're still gonna keep sucking, unfortunately.
The mic is like,
Wow.
you got to get the mic. Like,
I know.
right
I'm
on.
about to push this. There we go.
Yeah, like have it like right underneath your mouth, because sometimes when you're talking, it's like it doesn't.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Awkward. There we go. I'm just naturally soft tone. I can't help it, folks. But wow. Developers. Well, I just feel bad for these people. There's not much they can do.
Yeah, and it sucks when they do lose their jobs, but it also, there's also the saying of, if you put out bad games, don't expect people to support it. And
Yeah.
because nowadays, especially on social media, you also have game developers antagonizing gamers, and I'm like, that's the one thing you don't want to do.
Yeah, because gamers will do anything.
Yeah, because it's like, there's a saying, if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And some of these developers, when they go after gamers, they fuck around and they find out, and then what happens? Oh yeah, your game's not gonna make any sales.
100%.
Guess who's about to lose their job? You. Guess who's about to be removed from their position? You. And then when it ends up happening, now I gotta lock my Twitter or deactivate it, or worse.
Make a new one and hope for the best. Wow, this might. It just keeps going out. For now, we can just roll with it, or let's see. What I did like is the other company. I forgot the name. Obsidian, or the people that made the Outer Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
They keep reminding us that they're the developers from the original Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
That is the funniest jab that anyone can do.
Yeah, but it's like, is it really important?
No, but it's just a good diss. Hey, like, yeah, we're making a new one. Fair warning. There are developers that want to poke jabs at other companies,
Right.
and that's not a bad start. Like, this is a jab. Like, fuck Bethesda, play our game in a form of like a new game,
Yeah.
without even like saying anything controversial or message. Like, yeah, we made a new game, and you guys will like it even more. Man, there's a lot to uncover today.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the Game Awards for y'all. So
Yeah, we showed the negatives, we expressed a few positives, and showed some things that are revealing. But now, let's get ready. Where do you want to start?
all right. The next topic is, of course, FGC Discourse. So
Again?
yeah, there's always discourse
Yeah, you're
amongst
right.
the FGC. So it's you can never escape it. So
Oh, yeah, you're right.
hold on. What was the first thing on the topics list?
PS5s are not competitive consoles.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pull up that tweet real.
That is funny.
All
Because
right.
I know you have something to say about that.
Yeah. So this is in reference to this tweet here from Ending Walker.
And
With this being end of season, I think it's finally time I share my opinion on this. PS5 is not a competitive console. It is inconsistent, laggy. The vast majority of pro players use PC to practice. Flying 10 hours to go to a tournament and lose to a setup without learning isn't okay. So I want to speak on that. And for one, if if you don't know what platform the tournament is going to be on, like you should be able to know what platform it's on, so that way you can get adjusted to it.
that is true.
Like if you go to CEO, if you go to Combo Breaker, if you go to Frosty Faustings, if you go to Texas Showdown, if you go to First Attack,
Or even like Evo Japan, or if you're going to like out of like all over the world. Anywhere in the world, you have to know what you're playing.
yeah. But most of those FGC events that I just named primarily play on console, primarily play on the PS5. So, and I understand a lot of our competitors, they play on PC because that's the best platform to play on. That's the one platform where you're going to get a lot of consistent gameplay.
Yep.
Where, but it also depends on your rig, your PC rig, because I can guarantee you a lot of people do not have the same rig.
Yeah, I can agree.
So when it comes to the console, there's lots of people that have PS5s and they're all the same across the board. So that being said, if you go to these FGC events and you know that it's console, then it should. I'm not saying you should go out there and buy a PS5 console, but if you're going to be competing, you want to make sure that you have the resources for you to compete and practice on, so that way when it comes day of competition, you are ready to perform in your tournament. It's like if you're a boxer and you have like a boxing match, what you're gonna do? You're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna go to the ring, and you're gonna you're gonna do your drills.
Yeah.
You're gonna practice. You're gonna do a lot of labbing. You're gonna make sure you get good rest because hey, the next day is the big day, or next week is the big week. I gotta make sure I am ready to perform, so that way I can win. So with the PS5, like yes, the PS5 has issues. I ain't gonna front. I also feel like the PS5 should not have been released in 2020. I feel like it should have
Been a little bit later.
a little bit later. I would say like 2022, you could bring out the PS5 because I think 2022
That's where a lot of fighting games started like adapting more.
yeah, adapting more, and then of course making that slow migration um to like next gen. I think Street Fighter 6 came out what in 2022 or 2023.
Last year.
Okay, so it came out last year. So that's when all right, now we're starting to get fighting games that are going to be on the new gen console versus what we currently have right now. Even though you still see some fighting games that are going to be on the PS4 platform, but at least for like competitive wise, you want to start go ahead and making that jump to the next gen. And with the PS5, I feel like it should have released in 2022 because the PS5 did come with some issues. The biggest one is the USBs in the back. It was stupid of Sony to put the USB ports in the back of the console
It's a mistake.
where the fan is, and then
It gets melted and
and then of course when you're putting the USB on and on and off, on and off, on and off, you're wearing out the thing, the USB connector to keep it connected. And what ends up happening is now it's off. Now you can't plug it back in, and it's not reading the USB properly. So now you got to use the fronts.
So
PlayStation had it right with the PS4 by having
Agreed.
2 USB ports, the same USB Type A's in the front. It should always be there at all times. If you are gonna put a USB in the back, it should probably be for something like with the PS4 Pro, where they had one USB in the back, and it's good to use it if you're using the PSVR.
That's true.
Like I would have that back port to put anything, as in either the PlayStation camera or the VR or something like an extra accessory. But for like controllers and things like that, I want to use the front. But PlayStation realizes this, and of course I think they corrected it with the PS5 Slim. The PS5 Slims don't have that issues, and when you go to majors now, you don't see them using the OG model PS5s. You're starting to see them use the Slim because that fixed the issue. But when it comes to like optimization, when it comes to like playing fighting games, making sure that the input lag is as closely mirrored to PC, that also depends on not just the console, but the monitor that you use as well.
That's true. We've seen a lot of high quality monitors and such.
Yeah.
And the person who's saying this is not like a random or someone that doesn't go to locals and such.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the like strongest Street Fighter players that are out there in Europe.
Yeah.
This guy also got third at Evo. And he's also like the number one ed, like officially. Like this is someone that isn't like Snake Eyes that one time. Who's like, do you even go to locals? No, but everything should be PC.
Yeah.
It's like the loop doesn't end where people will say, hey, if there's a new console, it should go PC instead. That loop hasn't ended in the past few years, and we've talked.
It hasn't. It's been. I would say it started back in the PS4 era.
Yeah.
PS4 going to PS4 Pro, like it's always been a topic of discussion, and it's never going to end. But
no, it's not.
Until you've learned to run an event, and you realize, and I learned this from Jabali, and I also learned this from Juicy Duelist, that you can never beat plug and play.
No, you cannot. And it's also mobile, portable, and well, I wouldn't say portable. It's more convenient to carry multiple consoles instead of multiple PCs.
Yeah.
And also, we talked about the temperatures. And also the system possibly needing an update or restarting or causing multiple issues. Like, there's a lot behind a PC instead of simply saying
driver issues.
Yes. CPU, GPU, fans breaking, property breaking or being stolen. Because, it's harder to get a PC than it is a PS5. Especially with good quality.
That is true.
And you'll probably need more security for that situation.
Yeah.
And also, like, cooler AC vents and stuff because it's going to be hot.
Oh yeah, like I am not against the idea that majors should have gaming PCs for their competitive events. I believe that because when I look at your first person shooters like Valorant, CS:GO, Call of Duty, they're using
Overwatch and everything else.
Yeah, they're using PCs. They're not using consoles, which I'm completely fine for because
it makes sense.
Yeah, that is the correct platform to game competitively on. With fighting games, should fighting games go on PC? I'll say this: yes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's affordable, and if it's affordable not just on the major level, but also on the local level.
Agreed.
It has to be very affordable, and the parts overall has to be affordable as well. Like if it's affordable to where it is cheaper to get a gaming PC than a PS5.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Then yeah, you'll start to see that shift.
But we haven't found that shift yet, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't think it will happen anytime soon, mainly because parts are expensive, monitors are expensive, transportation is expensive. Everything behind that we just talked about is expensive.
Yeah, and when it comes to these big events and you're having thousands and thousands of people, not only you're gonna need you want to run your gaming event on PCs, but you're also gonna need a lot of staff to fix any problems
and people that know IT.
What's up?
And even people that might have to know IT.
Yeah.
That's a possibility that nobody thinks about.
Yeah, like because if there's an issue that happens on a PC, then it's just like, well, Now I gotta grab another PC because now players are having a problem with this PC setup, even though it's the same like that one and that one and that one and that one down the road. Like this year when I at CEO 2024, true story by the way, when I ran the Brawl Hollow bracket, that was on PC. And there were at least 4 PCs that I was TOing that players was like, I don't want to play on this because it's dropping frames. And within the FGC, if they're on a setup that is dropping frames, I don't want to play on it. So imagine if that happened in Brawlhalla. Imagine that in Street Fighter. Imagine that
God,
in
you're gonna hear
Tekken. Imagine that in Strive.
Holy shit! I have a headache thinking about this already. Because you're gonna hear same people that talked about going back to console. Hey, maybe we should go back to console. PC sucks, and we're all just gonna look at you like you're stupid.
Well, not only they're gonna say PC sucks, they're gonna say that. Well, why wasn't this updated? Why wasn't this fixed? This has problems and whatnot. Why can't someone troubleshoot or whatnot? And people don't understand that you have to find staff that has to work on these things, and that's going to cost them even more money.
A greater quality will be a greater cost.
Thank you. You said it. You said it good. You said it good. You said it good. A greater quality is going to come at a greater cost.
Yeah, like that's the best thing I can say in exchange. You're wanting the greatness, but you're not willing to pay for it.
Yeah. Imagine going to a major and it's an FGC major and it's all on PC, but the venue fee is close to $300.
Yeah, that's Evo for you. Now, if it's on Evo, it's gonna be like $500, and not many people really want to go 0-2 in an event like this.
Yeah, like, and then of course, let's just say if you won like a bracket or whatnot, you don't even make majority of the money back that you had to spend on traveling, hotel, and then of course the venue fee.
Agreed.
Your players are gonna feel like it's not even worth it. So it's like, as the TO, as the people who organize these big events, they're trying to make them as affordable as possible by taking the most affordable route. But if you want these quality experiences or these quality equipment, so that way you can have a quality tournament, understand that it's going to come at a much higher cost. And if it's at a higher cost, guess what that's going to do? People who don't want to pay for it, like, yo, I ain't going to go to that. I'm good. Yeah, I'll stick to a console. You pro players that want to play on PC.
It's the loop.
What's up?
It's a loop, literally.
Yeah. You pro players that want to play on PC, that when I mean pro players, I'm talking about the pro FGC players, the people who typically make either top 16 or top 8 in Street Fighter, Tekken, so on and so forth. If there's less people going to a major, you're not going to make majority of your money back. And you're going to hope that, are they going to throw a pop bonus into it?
You hope.
Yeah, you would hope.
Oh my goodness, there's a list I can go on with that. And you know, I would feel so bad if a PC gets fried while Tekken Finale kicks in. Like, not to disrespect. Okay, I'm disrespecting Tekken. It takes forever for a tournament to end, especially Game 5 situations everywhere.
Yeah, like PCs for fighting game tournaments, they're good if you're not expecting like a huge crowd. Like, it can be done on a more smaller local level, or let's just say you have like a major, you have like some gaming PCs, and you're playing like a game like, let's say, what was the one that just recently happened? Climax of the Night, where just like,
oh yeah, the uni event, or basically French bread. Wow.
Yeah, where you don't have to get like a super high-end PC. You could get like something mid-range.
If it can run a game like not even Exert or Plus R.
Yeah. Like flawlessly, then yeah, you can get away with it.
You can, but higher quality games or newer games require like higher quality stuff.
Yeah.
Or even gear, because you know how people want to see 1080p or 4K, but 720 is like the best standard you can do for a PS5. It doesn't do too much. It doesn't do like too little. It's like in that in between. But I respect Evan Walker's opinion. Agree that PC should be like a thing, but not anytime soon. There needs to be like lower prices in parts. There needs to be a lot of requirements for this. The only time that I remember a tournament having PC was Capcom, I believe.
Yeah, because it was an invitational.
Exactly. Where they had a limited group of people and they knew what they were doing. But if you're having a major level, that's where shit.
Where you're having like thousands and thousands of players.
You thought playing against a sweat was one thing. Imagine you sweating in front of a sweat. The loop doesn't end. You ready for the next one?
So I want to point this one tweet out that I end up agreeing. You are right, but can it be done? Use PC with what specifications will every local use them? We don't have like an actual standard PC. Like
It's very vague. That was the most vague response. It's very vague when you say PC.
yeah,
It's just like, yeah, a computer be nice, but what kind of computer is the real question.
yeah. Another one, inconsistent just isn't correct. That's the whole reason they're used. There are two big problems here. PCs are literally the definition of inconsistent. You can get a widely different FPS on the same setup, etc.
That's
B,
true.
PCs are widely expensive and tedious to dial in. Ending Walker says due to the thermals on the before mentioned platform and the way it handles the input lag literally changes the longer it is on. In a game where parry is a crucial mechanic and the window is two frames.
Yeesh. And you're wanting what kind of rig now? Because 2 frames make a huge difference.
I think a big issue is that people don't ensure that in-game settings are also consistent across PS5 systems. For instance, the setting to enable input delay reduction is off on some consoles at my local. They don't like the screen tearing. I noticed the difference for inputs. Though. Also, some players forget to turn off negative edge. It's just a big mess.
That last part should be on the player low key. Or at least a button check should be asked. But that's just me.
Capcom really needs to do some of the monitor certification as well for CPT events.
Mm-hmm. That's agreeable.
Versus Vortex. Singapore Premiere 2023-2024 were both on PC, and the organizers tested PC and monitor setups for a week to get the settings to be the most optimal for players. How was your experience on the setups? If you know the tournament will be on PS5, why on earth did you do your training on PC?
It's a real taco. That is a real question.
Until players learn how to fund PC-only tournaments for huge prize payouts, none of this matters. Every pro will whine about it and then continue to play in the console-only tournaments for a chance at big money. Tell me I'm lying.
You ain't lying. Those are straight facts.
PC being the official standard is just unrealistic and would never happen unless it's done by the community. There are just too many optics and logistics that go with the issues involved, and not even including the expense that have to be shouldered. Which we both talk about when you said you have to pay more for quality. What was the quote again?
It's like greater quality is going to cost greatly.
There you go.
That's pretty much it. Also, yeah, you can clip that anytime, but pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like everything has a cost to it.
Yeah.
How much are you guys willing to pay for it?
Yeah.
Because if you guys are doing a free event that's PC only, you're charging the venues electricity and such. And we have talked about this before. And I'm happy to talk about this again and again until people get the picture.
Yeah, because
not many people are going to listen to us and listen to the big picture.
No.
And that's okay.
Because I understand people have their expectations, and there's nothing wrong with that. Especially you want to make sure that the event goes smoothly. But I am not going to disagree with people's complaints about the PS5. Like, yeah, it's not a perfect console, and and I know Sony is looking at this and be like, we need to make sure that our console is optimized for esports, which is something that they should have taken advantage of back with the PS4 and PS4 Pro. But I'm guessing they did not foresee that they were going to buy out Evo.
That's true.
Because prior to that, I know that there were some tournaments that were going to be run except Street Fighter. I think some tournaments were ran on the Xbox. Well, that was back in the PS3, Xbox 360 area, where there were some fighting games that were ran on the Xbox because it just ran it better versus on the PS3. Moving forward to the PS4, Xbox One era, PS4 pretty much was just like the tournament standard across the entire board because Xbox completely fumbled the ball. And then, of course, when it came to games, especially fighting games, they just ran better on the PS4 versus the Xbox One. So But today, I would say the Xbox Series X does run fighting games a lot better, or slightly better than the PS5. However, majority of the tournaments are on PS5.
That is true. That is highly true.
And when you look at the monitors for these major tournaments, they're also using Sony's M3 monitors.
Oh yeah, the ones from CEO. Those really nice ones.
Yeah, and I looked at the price for those, and it's like screw
Not
it.
like below our budget, or like way above our budget.
Yeah, you're literally paying for another PS5,
At
brand new.
At that point, just get the get the monitor used.
Yeah, you either get the monitor used, but I think the big important thing is getting monitors that have 2 HDMI 2.1, so that way the PS5 can take advantage of the VRR.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So that way, one, you can now play the game at 120 hertz, because I don't have a VRR monitor because that's a lot of money to get a monitor. It is, but a lot of people who have played on those type of monitors have like literally nothing negative to say, and it's like that's the one monitor that PlayStation has made specifically for the PS5.
You know, I do have something to say.
What's up?
For big events like Evo, Chipotle can't be the only sponsor.
Yeah.
You can't have a burrito your way out of this into getting a PC system. That's all I gotta say. For those that keep getting the burrito cards and want to play on PC, sacrifice the burrito and help the local out.
Literally.
That's just a real talk that I have. I've been thinking about this. I'm like, yeah, the biggest sponsor is Chipotle, which is the funniest thing. Sony and Chipotle for Evo.
Yeah.
There's nobody else helping out. Not even, like, nobody wants to help out. And I'm hoping one day that can change. We're always hoping for the best, never for the worst.
Yeah.
When it comes to a niche community like this.
I'm just trying to look for more tweets. I should pull up the quotes because the quote tweets were very interesting.
The QRTs have to be crazy in that one. Mostly I'm against him is what I'm pre-assuming.
Like, it's been the same old tired argument.
It's a loop.
Yeah, and it's been going on and on and on.
I think we talked about this
like some people agree with him, which of course you can't standardize PC game. The Stream Deck and ROG Ally hearing this.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, when I heard Steam Deck and ROG Ally,
Oh my god.
that made me die a little bit. Can't forget the guy at a Dragon Ball local we did. He's like, all I play is Steam Deck. This PS5 feels laggy.
No.
I'm joking.
No, I was like, if I was there, I'd be like, you do realize you're playing on something slower.
And we talked about this. I think the VOD is still there. Oh my god, that local was so fucking funny. Also, if you guys ever want to give us a call, the number should be pinned. If not, let me just pin it on Twitch.
No, it's there on Twitch. Let me.
Okay, good. I pinned it.
Okay, awesome.
Yay, I know how to use Twitch for once. But yeah, some of these QRTs have to be crazy.
Okay, this one. I can't believe this got me riled up enough to put non-nonsense on Twitter.
No,
I just want to confirm a few things before I start. The main issue here is Street Fighter 6 is a poorly optimized game. PS5 is a poorly constructed console. A lot of players play the PC version.
That's real. That is a real ass thing to say. It only has 19 likes.
Yeah.
Damn. The people did not want to hear that one.
There's this one. Every time I read this argument, I'm thinking about the events being bring your own computer and matches played in LAN would
Real.
solve every issue outside of potential disconnects.
Real talk. Yeah, if you're bringing your rig, please have the biceps for it because I am not helping a homie out unless I'm getting paid.
Waffles, who's been here before.
Waffles, yeah, I know. My thought is Faust.
I agree, but there needs to be enough people running pools at the tournament in general that can diagnose issues on PC. Kizzy K went to a PC-only fight for the North, and the laptop they used for one of his sets wasn't plugged in, and they couldn't find the issue the first time.
No shot. That happened. That has to suck for someone playing on a laptop.
Yeah, but I don't want to continue to jump on this topic. Like it's been discussed so many times,
Yeah, I
and
think we've talked about this at least I think maybe 10 or 12 podcasts ago.
yeah, and like we get the argument, and we're not saying
We're not discouraging.
we're not
being rude.
we're not disagreeing with we're not disagreeing, but it's just logistically it's just not affordable to go the PC route,
Yeah, it's
especially
a lot of
for a big major event. It's just not logistically possible
money. Yeah,
unless fighting game players are okay with paying a much higher venue fee.
a bitch is broke, man.
Yeah,
I'm so like glad I can function as an adult.
listen, like I don't mind. Like, sure, $110 for a venue fee for the weekend.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's reasonable.
But if it's like hitting $200, I'm like, you know what? I might as well just sit this one out.
It's like going to a Comic-Con when your people are shelling out $50 to $70 to get inside for either a day or two, and then they're spending more money within the venue.
Yeah.
And they're spending more money on autographs. It's almost a similar thing when it comes to money, not the actual event. I wouldn't spend that money. Shit.
Because listen, most FGC players majority of them spend their money on food.
They all spend their money on food and survival.
Yeah.
And gas.
Just for the 3 or 4 days that they're there, or even 5. Majority of FGC players spend most of their money on food because every night they're going out to eat.
The most money I say people spend on is their hotel, unless they're living locally. The gas that they're using, the transportation, which could be flight, train, etc. There's a lot more than spending money on the local or on the events that you go to.
Right.
And that goes for everywhere, like people that go to concerts.
Right.
It's just that same comparison. It's like, oh, you can't compare an FGC major to an event like this. Yes, you can. It's like going on vacation, but you're stressing out over vacation if you're actually competing. If
Oh yeah.
you're spectating, that's fair game.
Yeah. If you're spectating, no risk. But if you're competing, you're just like, I don't know about my pool. I got this person in my pool, this person in my pool. I don't like the seating. I kind of just
I can't
want.
forget you almost went semi-viral, or at least like a notice for actually, man, I gotta fight Sonic Fox. You were ready to fight.
Back in MK11.
I know, that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Then I was supposed to fight Jay Wong. But he DQ'd himself. I was pissed. I wanted to fight him. I want him to teach me the ways of street fighting and how to not get parried. I'm so sorry. I hope this does not get noticed by him. Nah, he won't notice. I'll have to bake some cookies for that one to happen, but
In more FGC discourse.
yeah, you ready for for the next one?
Yeah.
I was reading this.
So, Esports Chart put out their list of top esport events of 2024 by peak viewers.
Yeah, which is really impressive. I was watching this.
So most of them,
It's League of Legends from what it looks like.
you have League of Legends. I don't know what the M is. League, Counter Strike, Valorant, MLB.
M6, MPL.
Let me see what that is.
I'm curious what this game is too.
The full MOBA experience on mobile 5v5.
Huh.
So I'm guessing like League, Dota.
Yeah. League, CSGO, Valorant.
So I saw this, and a couple of people within the FGC were pointing out that, we're nowhere in the top 10.
We're not going to make it out of this one.
And you look at the view counts, and it's just like it's massively high.
Oh, yeah. The standards were raised extremely high. I know people watch League and enjoy it, even though the game is very toxic and most people hate it. The same thing could be said for the fighting game community as well, but that's not an important subject right now. It's that there's not many viewers. It's a very niche community, and it's supposed to be meant for like a local level. When I say local level, I mean people that actually go to play against each other at these events, like people that used to go in the arcades back in the old days.
Yeah.
I mean, it roots back to that, which is very cool back then. And nowadays, you have people streaming that, hey, we're playing against each other on this. Watch.
Yeah. And Mike Hollow, spoke, and I wanted to, bring it up as a topic. Everyone that's reposting this, like it's the FGC's fault. The scene isn't big, are being kind of ridiculous. As much as I don't like a lot of what I see in today's FGC, the FGC was never anywhere close to even the smallest scene here. It's never going to be either.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting games have always been a niche, and due to their nature, no matter how fun they are, will always be a niche. Even if you want to include Smash Bros, they'll never reach these heights. Not new FGC or old school FGC. Sports and team games are always going to win.
That's true.
You're you're on your own on fighting games, and very historically very difficult to play, even in their dumbed down forms. No teammates or friends to rely on, and nowhere near the level of support these games get either. It is what it is.
Real talk. That is real.
Because when I see the amount of money that goes into these other esport games, I'm just like, man, it would be so good to have that within the FGC, but it's just like,
It's a good and a bad thing
yeah,
because people will see the money.
yeah.
It's a
Instead
good
of
thing
just,
because people will see the money.
yeah, people see the money and not just, hey, have fun with this.
Yeah, because it's just playing against other people. But competition is treated differently in many types of things you do.
I
It can
agree.
be for FGC, TCG, for sports, betting, gambling, etc. Everyone has their own like mindset when it comes to competition. Like you see people vibing, having a good time, or you see people like lock the fuck in. I'm focused. I'm ready. No one can stop me, and then they just get cooked. I mean, everyone has their own dynamic, but to get it streamed, it's always nice to see. You see your friends, you see your family.
Yeah.
I mean, some people think of it as a selfish thing that we're not getting any money or much attention, and that could be a good and bad thing to agree, depending on what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
It's like a morally neutral thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And, seeing that, I do have to agree on Mike on that, to where, yeah, compared to other games, like fighting games are a lot difficult because you have to spend a lot of time trying to get
You
good.
have to invest
You have to play against a lot of people. Like you always have to be on the competitive grind, like almost each and every day, almost each and every week. You're also gonna have to travel a lot to play other people, and most people don't have like the financial means to just travel
or a literal car.
to most of these events and to compete, to make a name for themselves. And then of course to even make a living, like good luck. It's really not easy. I would say like the less than 1% is probably make a living off of just traveling and competing in fighting games.
Or content creation,
That too.
which is the main route that most people go anyways, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, because it's the thing that's going to not only supplement their daily lifestyle, but it also helps with, their travel expenses as well. And even if they don't win, at least it's not at
They
a
got the attention.
yeah, they got the attention. They can use that to network, to use that to keep them relevant, and it's a lot. It's
Yeah, like a great example of someone who does a lot of content creation is Punk. He wins, he also posts. Like, hey, this is my point of view in this character, this is my personal honesty, and it shows him authentically playing or doing his comments like his streams. And then there's people like Hitachi,
yeah,
who carried like a camera with him, like, hey, this is me doing this, like early in his early phases. And then he posts content on YouTube where he has time to edit and everything else.
yeah,
And I respect that. Like, content creators don't get their flowers much as often.
yeah. They got to grind, like,
It's a very extreme niche job, but that's a whole different subject.
yeah, to be able to make a living off of it and to be financially well. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to grind a lot, put in a lot of time and hours into it, and
It's similar to what people say that a 9 to 5 is harder than a stream, but that's a whole nother subject.
oh yeah,
I know. I just wanted to bring that up
oh yeah,
because I feel like someone in some comments in the future is going to say something like that.
yeah.
But
I mean, both can be true.
yes,
Like, being a content creator, yeah, it can be harder than
because
a 9 to 5.
it is very competitive.
Yeah,
You're getting other people's attention or retaining it.
yeah,
Because most, like, I think internet kind of cooked people's brains when it came to Vine and 6-second videos of TikTok and such.
oh yeah,
Or
And then, of course, doing like a 9 to 5, like both can be very difficult, but
oh
both can
yeah,
be true depending on your circumstances and, of course, your day to day life.
yeah. I took a break from fighting games, like to actually take care of my mental. After going through so much of it this year, I kind of gave myself a break. I went up to Tennessee out of sheer boredom for a tournament and got fourth place. I made a name for myself. Nobody learned RAM except for like one or two people, but that's okay. But sometimes you do need to take a break from these games.
Yeah, because it can.
We're all human, and you can always try to do something fun. If you want to get that viewership, you do have to work hard. But for these esports events, you have to support them. You have to give the attention. You don't have to. You can always repost or something. There's a lot of things you can do to help make it potentially good, but nobody's willing to step up for it. People are like, "Hey, share this link. I'm going to be live on this big event," and people are like, "Okay, good luck with that one." Because I sent links to people. Only like one person watched a stream I was in, and it was my mom. And definitely shouts out to her. Like, that's one of the best feelings. I don't care about money or anything, but if my family's watching me knowing I'm okay, that's the best feeling in the world. I'm just a person that's not really greedy when it comes to money and such. If I win a prize, cool. If not, I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I like to have these memories. And the memories don't have to be viewed by millions of fucking people. It just has to be viewed by the few. Like, I had two people in Tennessee support me, literally,
That's good.
and a random friend I made.
That's good.
And it could be like an ego thing. People want FGC to be big. You have to do something to make it big.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have to do it keyword. You can play the game all you want, but you have to show people that you play the game. Or you have to go to your locals. You have to go to your contests. There's a lot of things to make those views go up. The action, it starts with you. It's you versus you, then you versus everyone else. That's what I personally have to say. Those views can potentially go up if we support events like CEO or locals like Flynn. Or even
Oh, your mic.
God. Oh my god. I'm holding it like this until I'm done talking.
Oh Lord.
There we go. Now I can get serious. But like it's you versus everybody and to gaining that interaction, that traction, all that attention, and that's where you have to start working hard. There we go. Wow. There we go. I think
Mic went out.
why? Oh my god.
There's some more wires down to.
Oh god. Wait. Okay, I think we're good. Hold on, we're good for now.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, if you want to switch it out, you can switch it out.
Okay, cool. I might switch it out if it goes one more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just share a little bit about myself from my point of view. Everyone's point of view is different on wanting that attention, wanting the type of attention. You just got to get the people that you want to see watch you perform or watch your favorite player perform.
Right.
It's all about support and community. It is a fighting game community, not a fighting game industry. That's what I personally have to say. I don't know if I'm wrong or if I'm incorrect. You guys can share your opinions with me.
Well, I do want to talk about that when fighting game community or fighting game industry, because within the FGC, there's like tons of fighting games. There's a lot of people that play certain different types of fighting games,
Yeah.
and we need to. I would say I would like to see the FGC move to where we can best way we can get more people involved into the fighting game community or get more people involved in the fighting games, and that is one, we need to check our ego at the door.
Oh, hell yes.
Check your ego at the
Put
door.
it on both of us so I can at least interact with this too.
Yeah, like check your ego at the door, and we need to welcome like not just the people but also fighting games that we deem as, oh, it's not a real fighting game. Like for the longest, people don't want to accept Smash as a real fighting game.
Oh, I
But
joke about it.
But when you look at their numbers, when you see how that community is, minus the toxic stuff, minus the negativity, when you just see that, it's I look at it as we need that group with us to help push the FGC even more.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
when you look at some of the other arena fighters, granted, not everyone plays arena fighters. Most of them are broken at best or whatnot. But
Sparking Zero kind of proved a point.
yeah, But what if we can form communities around these other arena fighters that may pull even more people into the FGC as a whole, so that way now more and more people are getting in because we're now accepting more of these other different unique fighting games within our community. Don't you think that would make things a lot better and
Hell
help
yeah.
grow the scene even more? Because we know this for a fact that when you're at an event and there's like a lot of fighting games, people will typically try to learn another fighting game.
Yeah.
Most people at at the very least are good at two fighting games. Most people are good at two fighting games because those are the two games that they can play at at the same time that they can put in time to.
Oh my god, I can't forget when I had to prove that to myself, but not enough about me. What I was
But
gonna say, you know what's a game that might potentially get views?
what?
2XKO.
Yeah,
Because Riot Games knows how to advertise super good and at least be firm with their updates, their software, and all this other stuff. And their character trailers. Like, they showed Jinx, everyone went nuts. Then they said, see you in 2025, people are going to wait. I don't think there's going to be another beta. I think it's just going to be straight in. I have a feeling it's going to kick in the summer. And the fact it's console and PC, fuck the argument. You can play with everybody.
and it's free to play.
Exactly. The only thing you're probably going to be is premium skin because, that's just traditional Riot.
Yeah,
They want to make a riot out of you spending your wallet on dumb shit.
it's gonna be really interesting how that game's gonna turn out because
I'm curious to see the local scene for it.
yeah, because I played it and it wasn't for me.
I mean, I dabbled with it. I got like 4 fat DKs local by playing modern. I didn't really do shit. I just let the game play itself.
Yeah.
And I just use honest neutral. But it has potential. I think the viewership is what's going to kick it because the words League of Legends is always under everybody's skin, whether it's good or bad.
I'm interested in seeing
I want to see
it too.
I want to see the MOBA streamers play it and get cooked or cook one of us two.
Because you can play 2v2 if you want to.
Yeah, you can play 2v2 with other people. I have yet to try that with Butters or another partner.
But I don't think most fighting game players they want to play 2v2.
No, but it'd be funny.
Yeah, it'd be funny and it also would be entertaining, but I would say more of our traditional fighting game players who are just used to just one character, or if they're playing a team-based game,
They want to focus on like
they rather just be them by themselves versus relying on other people. Because that's the thing when it comes to like team-based games and fighting games, which goes to the point of the tweet that I just showed that with team-based games, you have people you can fall back on. You have people that can do X, Y, and Z. With fighting games, it's mostly just you.
100%.
You're responsible for your screw ups, your fails, your screw ups, your fuck ups, or whatnot. Versus on a team-based games, you can throw the blame on someone like, okay, you didn't do this, you didn't cap
You
this
forgot to
objective,
block.
that too, or you didn't do this objective, you didn't hold it down long enough. Like you can place the blame or not take accountability, or
Yeah.
someone didn't do something. Versus in fighting games, it's all on you.
100%.
So I think what the mentality us fighting game players have is we're stubborn enough to where it's like I don't want to depend on someone else because if I don't want to fighting game players, we don't want to carry somebody else that we know is not good. Because it's like if it's a team based fighting game, I'd rather I manage 2 characters versus I manage one and then I have to depend on you. And you get mixed up, and I was like, no, tag me in. I know this mix because we're like that, and it's in our nature. So we'll see with 2XKO.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's gonna more that's gonna come from this game. But to go back off on what I was speaking earlier, that we need to embrace more fighting game genres, even the subgenres within the community, because that's going to help our scene grow even more.
Oh my god, there's so many different types of fighting games that not many people realize.
Yeah, and most people who are already in the FGC were so accustomed to what we know traditionally. Like we have our traditional 2D fighters, our traditional 3D fighters, and that's it.
Then you have platformers, you have arenas,
Yeah, and those are the fighting games where your traditionals may not want to play or they're not interested in viewing, but we need to have them in our community because
Yeah.
that's going to help grow our community even bigger. That's going to put more funding into the scene overall, especially for events. And people just don't think about that. They don't think about the long term effects of we need to stop alienating people who play these different unique fighting games. We need to bring them in
Yeah.
because
Inclusion
by
is very
bringing them
important.
in, we all flourish. Everyone wins, and not only that, the chances of that one individual that probably plays nothing but arena fighters, maybe eventually he'll end up playing a actual 2D fighter
Yeah.
or a 3D fighter that
We've
they
seen
may
people.
like.
We have seen people go through a cycle of, hey, I played Smash and now I play Street Fighter
Yeah,
because they hated Smash so much.
yeah,
Or at least the communities that was within them. I can name at least like 2 or 3 people, but nah, too much work. But yeah, it's you versus you in all reality, and all of us as a community to gain that traction from everybody. Don't include, well, do include everyone that you want to know and want them to see you. Be noticed. Be the type of person you want to be.
yeah,
I don't know how much more motivational I can be on that one, but yeah.
and we also have to get rid of the stigma of, well, we don't want our fighting games to be modernized or making easier because we've seen it. We've seen the arguments. We've heard the arguments where, well, these new people, these new players, they need to learn the classic stuff or whatnot. Then if they don't feel comfortable with the game or to where they can execute combos or learn at a pace where it's easier and accessible for them, then they're not going to play the game at all. You just lost a person that you could potentially have in your community. For me, I'm just like I would not know if there's a way to make the fighting game a little bit easier or a little bit more accessible that is going to bring even more people in. Why not?
That's true.
I
Wait,
think
before
one.
going on, Silver, you have some chip. There we go.
Okay. And I would say I would like to see more fighting games do this, like what Grand Blue did, where they have like they have a free to play version of the game,
Oh yeah.
and they have like a rotating every week. It rotates the cast of characters, so that way you can play Grand Blue, play online for free, try out these different characters. If you're a Grand main, then guess what? Hey, you don't have to buy Grand. You don't have to spend $50 on Grand Blue if you only just main Grand.
That is true. You could try to get S plus whatever rank they have in the game. for free.
Exactly. Like you could play online for free, and you could try these different characters. Like imagine if Street Fighter had something like that. Street Fighter 6 had something like that, or Tekken 8 had something like that, to where hey, we have a free to play version of our game. We're gonna have a rotating cast of characters each and every week, so that way we can try to
Yeah,
get
that was
more.
very innovative.
Yeah,
Side games.
yeah, like having more people coming in and try out our game and have fun with it and enjoy it because I still enjoy Grand Blue. I still play the game.
Yeah.
Not as competitively heavy, but
I gotta stop ducking and play it.
yeah. But the same could be said for other fighting games as well, to where we want to be able to attract more people into our game to play it, to love it, to enjoy it, and then of course compete in it as well. Because if you don't have that, then that's less people getting into your game. But that's besides the point.
Oh yeah. We already said enough of this.
Yeah. And then of course, lastly on this whole FGC discourse, it's just a toxicity that goes on, especially
I was reading
online.
this and I want to hear your POV before I share mine.
All I'm gonna say is, and I'm not gonna go too long on this, is that there's a lot of toxicity within the FGC that I'm to the point where I'm fine with associating myself with people that I'm already comfortable with, people that I'm already cool with, because when I see people act a certain way, and I'm just like, you know what, you kind of giving me like, I don't like the vibes that you putting out there or whatnot. I don't like being around a lot of people who are always got to be controversial, that likes to be in controversial matters or whatnot. I tend to stay away from people like that, and because I feel like if you're a controversial person, I don't want to be around you. I feel better and more comfortable that people do not know me, they don't know my name. I'm good on that because that means that people don't have to, get in my business, or I don't have to get in theirs or be a part of this or whatnot. I don't care. And I do believe that there is a lot of favoritism within the FGC.
Uh-huh.
I think I've made like a post like maybe a couple of months ago where a situation happened with one player, um, made some allegations. Allegations proved to be false, and I'm just like, you know what? People just don't want to say it. They don't want to address the big white elephant in the room because they're afraid of getting canceled. And it all comes down to that there's a lot of people that just play favorites. They will speak up when in favor for the person, but if their favorite person does something bad, well, you don't hear nothing from them.
Yeah.
They're not vocal as they would be because now they found out that, oh, this person is a piece of shit. I don't like to be around people like that, and I feel like there's like a lot of disingenuous people within the FGC community that I don't want to be around. I also feel like there's a lot of people who, as I said, people are going to play favorites, and they do. They're going to have special privileges for one person, and I feel like you're not upholding the standard. Because if you're not upholding the standard to treat everybody equally, but you're going to give certain people a pass because they're quote unquote your friend or they're cool with you or whatever category that they're in, then you're not being a fair, honest person, and you don't have any integrity. Integrity, I'm big on that, and I don't like being around people who lack integrity, where they're not going to be true to themselves and they're not going to be true to you. So for me, I look at it as be honest, because win or lose, at least you're honest enough to be like, I said what I said, and people are gonna take it how they're gonna
Yeah.
take it. And when it comes to that, I rather people be honest, so that way I know who I can be around and I know who I can avoid. So just have integrity. Like if you're that kind of person, and it's like cool. But if I'm not cool with that, or I feel like I'm just not rocking with it, then I'm just not gonna associate myself with you. I'll probably be cordial,
Yeah.
or I'll just
that's all we can be.
cordial or be cordially neutral with you, or I'll just maybe have like a small little talk. But other than that, it's like, nah, man, I'm not cool with you like that. Like, you do your own thing, I'm gonna do my own thing, and that's the great thing about me. I like to stay in my own lane.
Yeah.
I don't want to try to get involved in other people's business or lanes or whatnot because I got a lot of other things going on in my own personal life, which is why I always advocate for people like do something great with your life outside of fighting games. Do not let fighting games consume your entire life. Like, get off the internet, go touch grass, go on a date, go do something outside of video games, or play different video games for that matter. If fighting games stress you that much, or if the community within the fighting games stress you that much, like go do something different to take your mind off of it. And then if you feel like you want to revisit it again, cool. If not, hey, that's cool too. But overall, I just feel like the toxicity that I see within the FGC, most of it is just like, y'all just need to get the hell off the internet. It's like, seriously.
Like, go outside, please.
Like, get off the internet. And as I said before, I don't like to be around people who just lack integrity. Like, they're not going to keep it honest. They're not going to keep it fair and straightforward with people. But, they're going to, play favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're going to have their favorites that, they're not going to hold accountable. And I'm just not cool with that. So that's just my thoughts. Waluigi.
Damn, you took the words right out of my mouth for the most part. I almost forgot about the situation that kicked in. There's toxic groups and there's also toxic moments. You saw last night with Mena getting the tie. How did you feel about that?
Hey, it was a hype moment.
It was a hype moment, but some people are like, this is most disrespectful, and Fist throwing his jersey across. I'm just like, everyone deserves to pop off reasonably, and that's reasonable in my opinion. You're not hurting anybody. You're not really scaring anybody tactically. It's causing harm. Like, some people take that toxically offensive.
And I'm just like, man, have y'all ever been to a sporting event?
Oh my gosh, like Island and I, we saw this and we were cracking up laughing.
Like, you could tell, like,
you can tell the enthusiasm he had, and you can tell the hype, and that's well-deserved hype.
yeah, like when I saw that, and then of course I'm looking at the comments.
I didn't even have to look at the comments. I just knew.
And just people are just like being like offended by her, or like men shouldn't have done that. I'm just like, I can tell some of you people have never been outside. Y'all have never been to a competitive sporting event outside of your own home.
Oh, exactly. You
Like-
see people just screaming at the top of their lungs, And you see people like even if you go to bars and see people hyping up a sports game, they can't hear you, but we sure as hell can.
Like you could tell, like these people just. I'm just like,
There's a lot of comparisons you can always say.
but it's like I look at their age and I'm just like,
It makes sense.
yeah, yeah. It's like if you're like below the age of 25, then it's just like
It makes sense.
it makes sense because you're not used to seeing that. You grew up in the age of the internet when it became a thing.
Or people go to concerts and they just see a lot of unhinged shit.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh my god, why are people doing this? I was like, you've never been to something like this before. Like I'm like, you think that's bad? Oh, I've seen worse.
Oh my gosh, you haven't seen people tailgate during football games in the early
Oh.
2010s. That's out of pocket.
Even better, because I know, you're Puerto Rican and I'm Haitian and whatnot.
Yep.
When it comes to soccer,
Oh my god.
bro,
You see, not many Puerto Ricans are into soccer, they're into boxing. They'll watch boxing or baseball.
bro,
Any culture that has a sport.
yeah, cultures that have like a sport, especially when it comes to football, as we call it,
Oh, football.
not soccer, but
Football,
football.
soccer.
Oh man,
Oh my God.
you'll see a lot of people get animated, and they're not even drunk.
See, animated, racist, like you'll see all certain stuff, but all for humor and like no sincerity.
Yeah,
Some people look at you differently for showing what team you represent, and still to
Yeah.
this day, like you'll see baseball, like New York Yankees or the Boston Red Sox, as example,
yeah,
or people obsessed with the Lakers.
yeah,
Like it's just casual, like poking jabs.
yeah. It's fun. It's fun hype. That's what it is. And when a competition is really that good, and you're really into the competition, like you feel excited as if you're there.
Oh, hockey is also a thing too. I forgot about that. We're in a state that's also full of hockey fans.
Yeah. So when I looked at them, like you could tell some people just they don't get out. They don't get out much.
It's more sensitivity to these type of things.
Yeah.
I consider toxic if you haven't taken some time to figure it out or process certain like interactions, or at least be aware of your surroundings and the type of things you're in. Like if you see people at esports events or like FGC, people be screaming and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you remember like a couple CEOs ago? Like we see Danny screaming at the top of his lungs at Guilty Gear's ass. Like you see his face all red and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who won, Hitachi or Bean. I think it was Bean that won it. But that was the funniest thing. You just see Danny's face all red. Or you see people playing rock, paper, scissors unhinged.
Yeah.
People throwing money matches.
Oh yeah.
Like you see a lot of unnatural stuff. And if you are afraid of someone throwing a jersey at somebody, you need sensitivity training.
Yeah.
That's just my personal trait. It sucks that people haven't processed certain things.
Yeah.
And they have to type it out.
Yeah.
You type your feelings out, and then you get reprimanded and you stay quiet. Back up what you say or shut up.
And I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, do you not know this is what the FGC is literally built upon? Just like hype moments.
Or shit talking.
Exactly, shit talking and like that's
We
that
can't shit
that
talk.
is the core of the FGC.
We don't shit talk as much because we get canceled.
Exactly.
So we at least have to just poke some jabs.
Yeah.
There's not much to talk about the toxic groups because I know you have some organizations. Dude, you know what I loved this year? Every time a player of XYZ organization gets banned or something, the organization types itself out. They have to type this long ass paragraph of, hey, we're going to reprimand this person or ban them and stuff like this, or we brought them back because the allegations were true. Holy shit, I've read so many of these in these twit-longers.
Oh yeah.
I didn't read the twit-longers. I just opened it just so I can save it in my Google Docs in case I feel like reading.
Yeah.
I'd never feel like reading that. That was just a little toxic of me.
Usually when I'm work, that's when I sit in, and then when I come home and I have some time, I'm like, all right, I'll go through this whole ass thread, and I'm just like, okay, instead of going through this whole thread, I need someone within the comment section to summarize all this shit
and
up
that's
for me.
that's what we end up doing.
Exactly.
It works like gold.
Yeah, like someone summarize this shit for me because I'm at work. I don't got time to read all this shit.
Yeah. Toxic groups, I mean, there's toxic groups within other people. The hive mindset, like we said many years ago when we first started talking about the podcast.
Yep.
Hive mind is a thing. Not many people are aware about during a hive mind until like later on in life. They're like, oh shit, I was a part of this group.
Yeah.
That's the toxicity that I would personally like watch out for. But there's always groups. I'm like, is someone calling from the podcast? No.
Nah.
Sad.
I
That's great.
know.
That's okay.
If you're watching the podcast and you want to chime your thoughts in, by all means, call in. The number is 754 900
No.
9433.
Wow.
Again, the number is 754 900 9433.
Yeah, call-ins are accepted.
Oh, yeah.
Or donations. But yeah, toxic groups, I mean, I wouldn't say
I'll just
there hasn't been as much actively frequently.
just on that last point that you made, for people that just like need sensitivity training, I'll just be like, go outside,
Literally. Just
go outside, go to a sporting event, and
go to a mall. Go to places that have a lot of people
yeah,
that aren't really harmless. Like go grocery shopping. Don't order Uber Eats. Like do normal shit.
yeah, just go outside.
I presume some people just
put
don't
put
go
the
outside.
controller down, put the mouse and keyboard down, go
Put
outside.
the fight stick down.
Just go
I
outside,
just-
go to a sporting event.
I presume a lot of people use Uber Eats, and I'm not calling out people. I just presume. Many people aren't of that age to go to events and such.
Well, when you become of age, go outside.
Or if you're mentally underage, that's a whole different spiel.
And if you're underage, just go to a high school football game or a high school sporting game.
Yeah, I did sports, so this is why I'm like this.
So, anyways,
All
we're done with the FGC discourse. We're gonna move on.
The FGC discourse has been discoursed.
Yes, we're gonna move on. XDefiant news
I
and
saw this while we were talking, and holy shit!
XDefiant. So, as y'all know, XDefiant is going to be shutting down come next year in June. But their patch notes that they put out, and then of course they also put out some new content. Pretty much what XDefiant did, they released all of their content that they had scheduled and planned.
Yeah.
And my goodness, it was like, bro.
Ubisoft fucked up again.
Yes, Ubisoft completely dropped the ball because
It's a dead horse, but we're kicking it again.
no, this is like this made the game so much better now. The game modes that are currently in, because right now Call of Duty's on a down decline, and it's just like this could have been y'all's moment had Ubisoft not pulled the plug on XDefiant. Oh my god! If only they just waited like a couple of more months, because their monetization, because they're using skins to collect monetization and whatnot, but a lot of people are not buying skins, so yeah, it's not profitable. They're not making a lot of profit. But as far as gameplay,
Like I'm reading most of this, and holy shoot, I
like the new
Assassin-
faction, like the bro, I was playing the Assassins today. It was like, oh my god,
I love Assassin's Creed to a point where I would download this game just to play this.
bro, like this would have made. I'm like, man, this makes the game so much more enjoyable. So much more enjoyable. You have the Assassins, and then of course you have the Wolves from Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yeah,
You have the Wolves, and then of course another faction which hasn't been out yet, but there's only one character of it, and that's Blood Dragon. I'm like, oh my god.
for some reason I thought Blood Dragon was from another game.
No, it's from Far Cry.
There we go. That's what
Far
I
Cry
was
3 on Blood Dragon. It was like the expansion, and it was a good one too. They also fixed a couple of the other faction classes like the Cleaners, the Echelon, Phantoms, DedSec, Highwaymen. The maps. The maps are so good. They're also gonna bring out future maps.
Holy
These
smokes.
maps were scheduled for a later season, but were too much fun to not release.
Skull City, West End, the Himalaya.
Fixes and changes. New game modes: Defuse versus bots, Lum Hunt, Tilt, Turbo XD. I've been having so much fun with Turbo XD. So it's pretty much you could just run, jump, as if like you're in like zero gravity, and man, it just makes the game so much more enjoyable. I was just like, damn, we're about to lose this game next year, and I hope we don't, because these are some really good changes. And it just
They-
makes the game so enjoyable.
They have a top 500 leaderboard. Damn. Ranked emblem. New ranked rewards, fixes and changes. They have matchmaking. Reduced forfeit timer from 20 seconds to 5 seconds. Players are no longer pulled out of active ranked game sessions after accepting the party invite. Weapons, they have... Oh, wow. I'm impressed. They have a whole list of guns that they also added. And they balanced the sawed-off shotgun. Holy smokes. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff got unlocked. Like all the premium skins, like you can now get them.
There's a prestige system, badges, faction mastery, daily rewards. They really dropped a ball this heavy.
Yeah, Ubisoft fucked up massively.
New assassin video, new store layout, new weapon layout.
And like what I like about the assassins is their melee is one hit kill.
I love this first comment that someone put. I tried to tell you guys that a good battle royale could have lifted you guys.
Oh hell no!
Oh my god!
I hate that. Like oh good no.
Fuck that guy in particular.
Because here's the thing: Ubisoft had a battle royale. You know what it was? Hyperscape.
Yes.
People ain't play it.
I played it once, got like third, and I'm like, I don't want to touch this game. It's ass.
Yeah.
It's like Halo Reach abilities in a shooter.
Yeah.
That you just find them.
Yeah.
But I love.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I didn't support Hyperscape if you wanted to be battle royale, but XDefiant, it's completely different. It's pretty much
They're real.
yeah, it's like Call of Duty, but they're also using characters within their own IP to make these different factions. Like you have the Division, Ghost Recon, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. It's just a damn shame that
I love the comments that XDefiant is responding to.
yeah.
XDefiant will join you soon, Hyperscape soon, and then I love how XDefiant's like, well, tell them you said hi. And it's like they're having fun with this, and that's good. That a gaming developer that they know it's going to be closing soon, unless something changes.
I hope something does change to the point where it keeps the game back and active because it definitely deserves it.
It does. I will agree with this.
But it sucks that it's just going to be taken offline. So if you already have XDefiant already downloaded on your account, then you can reinstall the game and and play this new update. I'm telling you, it is so worth it. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. But for newcomers, you're not going to be able to play it because they completely removed it from the stores, all stores.
Damn.
I know.
I was ready to download it. Pain.
Well, we have it here at Flynn's.
Oh, even better.
Yep. And our last topic, last but not least, and that is Marvel Rivals. Oh, my goodness.
Before we get serious on the topic, how do you feel about the game?
I'm enjoying the game.
I am too, actually.
I'm really liking this game.
I'm having
Like,
more fun
I
with
don't
Overwatch.
care. It's like, I'm just having fun with this game just to have fun. Like, I don't even care if I win or lose. If I win, cool. And if I lose, I'm like, let me run it back again. Because I'm in the experimenting phase where, okay, I'm just testing everybody out because there are so many heroes to choose from, so many characters to choose from.
I like how they have the names like Strategist, Duelist, Vanguard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Duelists from what it looks like, or the DPS.
Yeah.
Then you have Strategists, which are the healers.
Yeah, your supports.
Yeah, healers, supports, etc. And then you have the Vanguards, which are like the tanks, and there's not
Yeah.
too many of them.
Yeah.
But I love the creativity people are having, the combos that they're executing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I give respect to Marvel. They actually like knew what they were doing with this game.
Yeah.
That shows you a big ass company that listens to the people. But the fucked up part about it, I love how the models are extremely detailed. I'm seeing people animate the dumbest things.
You already know the Rule 34 artists are
I'm
already on this
See,
game.
you didn't even have to tell me. I already knew. I haven't seen anything yet, thank God. I wouldn't say in the podcast. Maybe I would, but that's not important right now. But I'm seeing a lot of Jeff the Shark hate.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've been just seeing these memes nonstop. Also,
But when you play Jeff the Shark, you'd be like, you know what? He's not so bad after all. I understand why people hate this character, but
it's just funny.
exactly. Like, and not only that, he's like one of the best healers in the game.
I'm dying of laughter last night because me and Island were playing a game, and one guy's like, or one of the people that joined our chat, it's just like, it's like, oh yeah, every black person that plays support does Cloak and Dagger, and then there's Heinz who plays Jeff, and we all just like, there's Heinz, but Heinz is different. I was crying of laughter over this response because that is the truest thing I've seen. Like, Heinz is the only person that plays Jeff on Island or Luna Snow.
Oh, God.
But we all play like certain people. Like, I'm learning Penny Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I like to play tank, so I'm learning, who was it? Magneto as well. I tried Namor, and I heard Namor is slept on. because the amount of damage he does by just throwing his spear. But it seems like a fun game. It's good. Like, I'm only doing quick matches. I want to try it competitive soon to see how it really goes.
Yeah, for me, I'm not touching competitive until I am comfortable. I've played everybody and at least 10 games with each character, so that way I know, like, okay, you know what? I like this character. I like that character. I like this character for this map. I like
Okay.
this character for that map. If I'm attacking or defending, then I have my specific characters for different roles and whatnot. So that's for me. I'm in that experimenting phase, but I always go back to, you know what? I don't want to experiment. I just want to have some, stupid fun because the
That's
game
fair.
is stupid fun. So I would say my Vanguard, my go-to Vanguard is Captain America because infinite run and I can jump really high.
Avengers assemble.
Yes. Duelist, I would say Iron Man's my favorite because I get to be in the sky, maybe far away where people are not paying attention, and just rain down shots on them. And then once I get my ultimate, just hit them with the ultimate and then continue to hide or run away. That's my favorite. And if it's not Iron Man, then it's definitely Winter Soldier.
Oh my god, you know how many I hate Iron Fist.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Oh my god, he can fly to Iron Man and beat the shit out of him.
Bro, anytime I see an Iron Fist, bro, like if I'm trying to flank the other enemy team and I see an Iron Fist coming my way, I'm like, nope, U-turn.
Yep, get out.
U-turn because it's like I'm not gonna beat him one on one. If I'm using Iron Man, I'm not beating him one on
I'm
one
also loving
unless
the
I'm
leaks.
hitting him with my ultimate.
I am loving the leaks right now that people are showing
Oh yeah.
because they already showed the spoiler of the skins that are coming out for this winter, technically,
Mm-hmm.
which is like Jeff the Shark, and then they have Venom. But I love how they just show Venom's ass specifically. Like they're just getting everybody's attention.
They know what they're doing, and
They-
it's working.
Oh, they 100% know. Once I heard detailed models, I'm like, yeah, they're cooking Overwatch right now,
Oh yeah.
where people had to rig their own models, but no. And then people that mod it, degenerates, unless they're reasonable mods.
It's expected. Like
Go on.
they
Next.
they they're listen. They want to make sure that Overwatch does not recover from this. Like
No, I don't think
we
they will.
want to make sure that Overwatch is like, hey, you've had your time. You screwed up with Overwatch 2 because it's literally just Overwatch 1.5. So guess what? Here's the new kid in town, and that's Marvel Rivals, and it's a much better game. It's like, oh no, 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 no. I'm not the cheap knockoff. I'm the upgrade. And that's exactly what Marvel Rivals is. And then of course my strategist is either Jeff the Shark, because yeah, I want to be that toxic guy that just swallows everyone up and does just kill myself off the map with everyone
Dude,
inside
there are
me.
78 mods in Nexus right now. I'm just passing by them. I haven't died a little bit on the inside, so we're good.
Yeah, and then if it's not Jeff the Shark, then it's definitely Loki. Like I'm having a lot of fun with Loki now because I get to mess with people's heads.
Okay, now I'm seeing like I haven't seen the full mod page, but they're showing like today's mods, and they have like some really cool skins.
Yeah, that's a. I can't. I do want to spend the cash to get the Iron Man skin, the end game one. I do want that one. I saw the Thor one. I was like, I want that Thor one. Like the game has some good skins. I was just like, you know what? I want to get this. I want to. And I already know they're gonna make even more skins with these characters. They're gonna bring out more characters, and they're gonna have even more skins and better skins, especially from either from movies or comics, because it's Marvel's IP. You have all these characters, all these unique characters, and we already know we're gonna even get more. And I also want to talk about this one article. Hold on, that I want to share with y'all. And this is Marvel Rivals is not considering a role queue, no matter how annoying it is to get rinsed on a team of 6 duelists. Yeah, so no role queue. So all the people that was like, you know what, we need role queues, meaning we need people to fulfill these roles before we start a match. Like probably we need 2 duelists or 2 vanguards and 2 strategists. No, no, no. We're gonna roll in 6 deep with nothing but duelists.
Like
You're gonna have
that.
yeah, we're gonna have nothing but it. We're gonna have an Iron Fist. We're gonna have an Iron Man. We're gonna have
Oh.
Black Panther. We're gonna have Winter Soldier. We're gonna roll in deep. What happened?
No, I'm just in shock. Like they just said We don't care. You play the game.
Yeah, like if you want role queue, get your friends.
Because I think that's where Overwatch faltered. They listen to the people way too much. It's okay to listen to people, but then it's okay to do your own thing.
Yeah.
They literally said they just took the script off of Miles Morales and they're just like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing in front of Blizzard.
Yeah.
And I think that works pretty well. Like you play what you want, you play with your group, and you think it's
Yeah, you play. Yeah, you play how you want, and if you want the role queues, like I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be against it if it's like for competitive play, like ranked competitive play, fine. But if people are completely fine with playing however that they want, and if they have their friends that play specific way, like if y'all are nothing but a team of 6 duelists and y'all win every match, that works. That works for you.
Oh my god, that would be brutal.
Or a team of 6 strategists where they're all healers and they're like, great, now they're going to be extremely hard to kill, and there's a Jeff on their team. Yeah. Now we have to worry about that Jeff. We got to worry about Luna Snow. We got Loki over there with his multiple shadow clones.
Yeah. You know what's more messed up? Wanda. Scarlet Witch. That's super pure chaos. And you're just watching everyone just get disintegrate. It happened to me too many times. I have a PTSD.
Oh, yeah. I think another person that's slept on that I remember I posted a story of like the most OP characters in Marvel Rivals. People sleeping on Hawkeye. Hawkeye is
oh my god
dangerous.
You know what's also pretty cool about the game?
What's up?
Replays. You can see if someone's cheating or not. Because sometimes it's hard to tell, like, hey, how is this guy headshotting me? This has happened once where people are just reporting.
Oh, I have not seen that.
Yeah, you're able to watch your replays. And someone caught a Hawkeye cheating.
Already? Why?
On anti-cheat software, which is crazy work.
That is crazy.
Oh, I'm loving it right now. This is going to be a great game for a while. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if it's going to be a fad, a trend, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
But having 6 duels is so funny.
Oh, yeah.
They won't have the heals, but they're going to have a lot of damage. I want to see it with my friends, see if it's a good idea.
And you already know everyone's saying, oh, man, these characters are overpowered. Like, bro, you have no idea what's coming down the pipeline. Ultron. There's going to be more characters.
So they showed a leak of possibly Ultron, but he looks more like a strategist, which is really funny.
Yeah. I think strategists would definitely fit Ultron.
Free flight mode, and he has some drones that heal.
Yeah. And I can see Ultron being strategist.
Which is interesting, and free flight mode.
I also saw Mr. Fantastic. He's coming. Blade, I saw that.
And Hyper Blade.
The Thing coming.
You know, I'm wondering what the Thing's ability is going to be, if it's similar to the Hulk or it's going to be more like he has armor. Because there's a lot of versions of these Marvel characters that are slightly different.
Yeah.
Cartooned.
And we're also speculating, like, if they were to bring this character, like, which class would they fit in or whatnot. There's just so much possibilities that they can do with this game, and I'm here for it.
I know one person in my group wants a Ghost Rider to be in there.
Same.
That would be broken. Or like a whip mechanic. But yeah, I actually am looking forward to seeing how they're going to have a competitive scene and the factions, all stuff. Island made a faction just for boredom. And we're not even in the tournament yet.
As you should. I want to compete in the tournaments.
Me too. We got to plan a group and day.
Yeah, we definitely have to.
We can always make a podcast one. You got cooked by a podcast host and some fans. You got to be creative with this content.
Oh, yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, I say that once in a while. Imagine just getting cooked by a podcast host. Not even a cosplayer. I think it's worse to say a podcast host than a cosplayer.
Nah.
Because people will compare us to Joe Rogan when they say podcast.
Oh.
Or like Andrew Tate. Or like someone controversial. Like, not many people listen to podcasts. They'll listen to true crime and that's it. But not us.
Yeah, true crime. We're not even on that top of the totem pole.
No, but the true crime is we're going to rob you in factions. That's just my ego talking right now, and that's okay. But yeah, Marvel Rivals, 10 out of 10 game so far. No complaints. I've had maybe like one time I've been logged out just because my Wi-Fi went off, and that's pretty much it. And they do give warnings too, which is like you can't go in and out or in and out. They'll give you a break in case you keep doing that. And maybe a potential ban, I'm betting.
Okay. Well, other than that, for anyone that is viewing, if you want to call in, as I said, the number is 754-900-9433. We're about to go ahead and slowly wrap things up. So we're going to give y'all about maybe 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, if anyone wants to call in and wants to, discuss any of the topics that we had. And yeah, I would say overall, I'm excited for Marvel Rivals. I mean, I'm playing that game. Like that's like my go-to shooter game now. If it's not XDefiant, it's definitely gonna be Marvel Rivals, and I still have to finish Metaphor. But ever since Marvel Rivals came out, and I'm just like, bro, I'm enjoying this game. This game is good. This game is fun. And if I'm not playing Marvel Rivals, I'm playing some gotcha game.
I've been playing that. Think I'm gonna dabble into web fishing. Gonna play like some very niche games that not many people heard about, or like the horror game called Rat Shaker, which is like $3 to play.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like playing really niche and cheap games that people have like been blowing up on the internet, or just like haven't actually played Persona 5 like I should be. Once I get paid,
I still gotta play Helldivers. Oh my god,
we gotta plan today. I'm off tomorrow.
I work.
Dang.
But we don't have tournaments tomorrow, so
That might be in the books or Sunday. We'll see.
yeah. But other than that, it's about 10:30. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Put a bow on it.
Alrighty.
So that being said, Waluigi, any final thoughts?
Remember, you versus you. You are your own person, and you do what you want, and do the best you can. Pretty much meaning, if you want to blow up, do it. Nothing is stopping. Nothing should stop you. If it does, move forward and persevere. Be yourself, and be at your best. Everyone will look at a different version of you, but you just keep being yourself. I don't know. I felt like being really motivational for once. I don't know. I've been on a streak.
I don't have a motivational quote other than just play games right now. There's a lot of good games out right now. There's Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I'm always gonna
Metaphor Fantasia.
Metaphor Fantasio. There's Helldivers 2. There's
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth for some people.
There's Warhammer Space Marine 2. There's Black Myth Wukong. There's Stellar Blade. If you want, try Rise of the Ronin. Marvel Rivals.
If you want to get into card games, you can try other stuff like One Piece or Union Arena and other stuff, or check out your locals. Look it up online.
Or play new Gotcha Game Girls Frontline 2.
I don't know about that one, Chief, but okay.
Other than that, that has been episode 112 of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in. We will be catching y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Let me go ahead.
That was funny.